Hello, welcome to Rubicon History. In this episode, pyramids in Egypt. So, the Illuminati. Wait, aliens. We're talking about aliens. In this episode, aliens. Okay, aliens didn't create the pyramids. Welcome to Rubicon History. In this episode, triangle shapes. Pyramids in Egypt, most definitely not created by aliens, were constructed as early as 4,500 years ago.
A long time.
And there are over 100 discovered pyramids that still exist today. Pyramids were used as tombs for the dead.
They're all dead.
They're all dead. They're all dead.
They're gone. They're all dead.
That's right. Pyramids are giant burial chambers, tombs for important people in ancient Egypt, namely and mostly kings and queens. Now, we could discuss those who were buried in the pyramids, the use of a sarcophagus, and embalming. In this episode, we're going to discuss why pyramids are shaped like, well, pyramids.
This old thing? It is just a big stone object with slopey faces of some sort.
There are a few schools of thought on the pyramid shape. One theory comes from an early creation myth out of Egypt. Before there was anything else, the universe was made up of directionless primordial waters. Until a mound, the beginning of life, appeared as a small island in the middle of the vast emptiness. This mound became a symbol to ancient Egyptians of creation and new life. Now, it's likely that the dependable Nile River flooding cycle played a part in this belief, as the mounds of fertile silt that were left behind by receding floodwaters were thought to represent the original mound from the creation myth. I think the Nile River flooding in Egypt was predictable, meaning it happened every year around the same time. This would explain why the creation myth perpetuated. But gosh, I wish there was some way to be sure. I got it. Let's ask Rubicon History's super intelligent sentient computer, Canny, to join us. Canny, can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Canny, the super intelligent sentient computer. Hi, Canny. I trust you're doing well.
Yes.
Okay, Canny, we've asked you here today because we're trying to determine if the Nile River in Egypt had predictable flooding. We think that the silt left behind every year reinforced the creation myth of the mound appearing in primordial waters. So, Canny, are the Nile River floods in Egypt predictable?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Canny. Ladies and gentlemen, Canny, the super intelligent sentient computer. Regardless of the origin, these mounds would be recreated in early Egypt, around temples, for example, to represent the beginning of life as described in the creation myth. Later, the icon for these mounds began to be represented as a pyramid called benbens, from the root ben, meaning to come or swell forth. Yes, here comes the benben. Wait a second. That isn't a benben. That's an X-wing. How did that footage get mixed up in there?
It was me!
Even more interesting, the pyramid shape of the benbens were thought to hold the same power as the original mound. Much like the crucifix, a representation of salvation to Christians has power in all of those vampire movies. Oh, I don't like that. No.
Oh my gosh!
That's my least favorite shape. Egyptians began using the benben in much the same way we use gravestones today, as they marked the location of their important dead. This tradition began on a small scale, but as we know, grew to be very large. However, every pyramid has a link to its origins. It can be found on the top of the pyramid. As that stone's name, the one on the very tippy top of every pyramid is called the Benben stone. Mound in the creation myth, pyramid shape called Benben representing that mound, top stone of pyramid called a Benben stone. I think we can see the correlation. There are other theories on how pyramids received their shape. Notably that the shape represented the rays of the sun, or the shape helped buried pharaohs climb towards the heavens. What isn't in dispute is that pyramids are part of a human legacy of marvel and ingenuity. Pyramids received their shape for which of the following reasons? A. Egyptians liked triangles. B. Pyramids were easy to construct. C. Pyramids were shapes representing creation. Or D. The pharaohs wanted to honor the sun god Ra. You should have picked C. The original mound of creation was represented as a pyramid. To review, there are multiple theories on why Egyptian pyramids have their shape. Our favorite theory is that ancient Egyptians based the shape of the pyramids on their creation myth, which tells of a mound, the beginning of creation, rising from primordial waters. This mound would later be represented as a pyramid, called a benben, and placed at tombs of important Egyptian figures. Later, as the size of the pyramids grew, the stones on the tippy top of the pyramids were still referred to as benben stones. Now you know, and there's no turning back. You know that pyramids were definitely not constructed by aliens. Definitely not constructed by aliens. Definitely not constructed by aliens. Definitely not constructed by aliens.